So one of the questions I get asked the most is, how many photos do I actually take on location? In all honesty, I have absolutely no clue. So it feels like I take a lot of photos, especially over here when I'm on a trip in England. But we're coming to Bottalock Mines, and let's see if I can count them all. I'll start photographing in that direction right there. Guess that was one. So I'm honestly not entirely sure about why I get asked about this, but maybe some of you out there are a little bit uncomfortable that you go out and shoot a lot and you don't come away with a whole lot. But the thing is, it's the digital era, so you can actually just shoot away, shoot, and it doesn't really cost you a whole lot besides hard disk space, and what doesn't work you can always delete it. So in that way, like, I made like a video a year ago-ish where I talked about like machine gun theory, my machine gun theory. Just shoot, and hope for the best. And that's definitely something I do a whole lot. And this place is really cool, like old mines with some ruins here. Definitely a lot of potential for some cool shots. So obviously on a day like this, the light just changes all the time. And I see so many compositions here and there. And obviously they also change as the light changes. So I'm honestly just hammering off and hoping for the best. Sometimes you get photos that are a little bit blurry. Sometimes you're not entirely sure about the composition. And then you just take like usually 3, 4, maybe 10 photos of the same composition, just slightly different. Right now, because I'm handheld, there's plenty of light to handhold these photos at f/16. So yeah, that's the thing. Hammer off and hope for the best. So one of the things I enjoy the most about photography is just how much of an intuitive process it is. So in this shot here, like, I haven't been here before. I haven't really seen a whole lot of photos from this area here, but it's just so obvious to use the wall here as a leading line leading into this chimney. Yes, it's a photo of a chimney. It may not be the most interesting photo in the entire world, but it's a cool photo. So yeah, it's basically just walking around and just like seeing, okay, composition there, wait for the light to be optimal, and then of course get the photo. I'm right now waiting for this big cloud here in the background to like move in and cover up the blue sky, and hopefully the sun will stay out and light up the foreground, which should give a really nice and dramatic photo. So leading line up to my subject, the chimney. And I think so much about composition, and the best way to really get stronger photos is to learn composition and learn light. And if you want to learn about composition, be sure to get my 2 ebooks, Landscape Composition 1 and 2. You can start with the first one and then get the second one afterwards if you enjoyed the first one. Full of examples about how to compose your photos, all the different compositional tools I use, like depth and balance, and how to use light optimally, how to think in geometrical shapes, how to think about flow, visual flow, how to add scale to your photos, and so forth. The text is relatively minimal, which makes sure that you actually get through the book, and then you can always, as a PDF file, put it on your phone and bring it out into the field. There are links to both of the ebooks down in the description of this video. really like that chimney right there. And there's like really gray, nice, moody background, and then sometimes like low-hanging clouds that get lit by the sun. Looks really nice. Right now, not so much, but it still stands out. So yeah, just before I got a couple of really nice photos. I've been shooting in that direction and in that direction. Probably getting like, I don't know, 15, 20 photos in each direction. The question is how many of them I actually want to keep. So this here, that's quite a cool location. Definitely going to get hammered by a shower in just a moment. But I really like the chimney here, and you can see how I'm using this old building here to frame the photo. Is this going to be a super arty-farty photo? Absolutely not. But yeah, I'm going to bracket this one so I get a little bit of information here in the foreground, and then I retain the highlights also. Nice. The idea is to photograph the mines, which are here in the background. Hi Nigel, you can come by.
Okay.
So the idea is to photograph the mines here in the background.
Comedy ball.
Oh, this is going to go in the video. And you know, when I'm just standing in a location like this, I'm probably taking hundreds of photos because there's just waves coming in all the time. One bigger than the next one. So I've already caught like, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 photos at this point of time. And I've only been here for like 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to just hammer all. I'm crossing my fingers that we will have a rainbow, according to James, who's photographing further down there. There's already been like 3 rainbows. And I caught one on the way down here. But sadly I wasn't fast enough to get down while it was here. So I will just have the back to the scene, which is a little weird, I know, but it's to protect the microphone from this crazy wind. So we've come a little bit further down the hill here because it's just like one little detail that actually makes all the difference in the world. And if you can see like the chimney on the lower building here in the background, it is actually clear of the horizon from this perspective relative to the perspective a little bit further up. It just gives that little extra thing to the photo, that extra little detail, because we are taking a photo of these mines, these buildings, so it makes them stand out a little bit more from the background. So yeah, now it's just a question about waiting for the lights and waiting for some cool waves and hopefully also a rainbow. Share your thoughts, Nigel.
Windy.
Windy.
Epic. And oh my god.
This is your favorite place you ever wanted to go?
Well, this is the place that I was keen to go. It lives up to every expectation I had, really. I'm going to get the same shot that most people have got, but the waves are pretty good tonight. Oh wow, just had a rainbow as well. Boom.
So guys, how many photos have you been taking so far?
3 or 4, maybe 5.
I'm just going to take one and go home.
I think I've taken at least 1,000.
Yeah,
They're all about the same, really.
in that ballpark.
With or without sun is the only difference.
Yeah.
You could blend them all as layers.
So I've come a little bit further down from up here, and right now, as I just talked about, like the chimney of that lower tin mine, now I have the cliff as a background. However, I actually think I found a really nice foreground down here. So I have some flowers right here in the foreground, which is going to be on the left side of the photo. Then I'm using the grass down here as a little bit of an out of focus foreground. And then I have the rock right here also. And that kind of like frames the entire photo. And then I have the tin mines and the big cliff there in the background. And I have a little bit of separation between the foreground and the background, which is the midground, where I have the waves coming crashing in. Looks really good. Now I basically just have to wait for some good light, which seems to have gone away a little bit. But nevertheless, it's a really cool shot.
Jesus Christ, that was big. Where did that come from?
The sea?
Oh yeah.
We are so funny. I just want to go through a few examples from this Cornwall trip to England, how many photos I took on each outing. So let's start at Kynan's Cove. And here I actually ended up taking 379 photos. And I've actually already deleted quite a lot of the wave photos from this session right here. So there's probably another 100 you can add to those 379. On the first morning we were in Port Leven, and here I took 688 photos. Now this is going to be photos and video for another project, so you can look forward to that. In my video about shutter speed, when we were in Sennen alone, I took also almost 600 photos on this day, on this outing right here. So 596. From last week's video, in that part where I was in St. Ives, even though I wasn't even super inspired, I actually ended up taking more than 200 photos. So 206 photos from this outing alone. And here from Bottalock Mines, I ended up taking 603 photos, and you can see the vast majority is of the mines right here down by the coast. And that is just the thing, like each time a wave came in, I just started hammering off as it moved in over the photo. So I also just want to wish you a happy Christmas. It's Christmas in like 3 days or so from this video comes out. So I hope you have a good time with your family or friends, or however you celebrate Christmas. If you want to learn even more, be sure to get my 2 ebooks. There are links down in the description. And my Photoshop course if you want to learn how I edit my photos. See you next time.